Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion here in the Zen Den. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm excited to have this chat again. This is the last of the series of 4 here, inspired by Don Miguel Ruiz, author of The 4 Agreements, which is a book I think I mentioned that I used in Minecraft for a very long time. And I didn't change it up because it wasn't great. It's just you got to change stuff up, you know. But we still talk about it. And so and these weren't in any order because I didn't even, actually the book's in my office and I'm here right now. But I know what they are by heart. And I even had there's even a little tiny pocket one that I carried around for a while. I think I loaned it to one of my kids. Anyway, so we talked about taking things less personally, right? We're trying to reduce drama in our lives and everybody else's lives. So we talked about taking things less personally, or personally less often. That works too, same thing, pretty much. And also making fewer assumptions. And then we talked about being more impeccable with our word, right? Notice not just saying, don't take things personally ever, because is that realistic? I mean, it'd be great if we could, but we'd be like the Buddha or something. So just do the best you can. So that's what we're going to talk about today is again, they're not in any order, but they're our order, is do the best you can. And it's actually for me, it's set the bar and do your best. I think Ruiz has it as always do your best, something like that. And I talk a lot about this with my Minecrafters, and I'm noticing this is a little crooked. Sorry about that. I think I need to tighten this something. Anyway, all right, so with my Minecrafters, because, and please hear me when I say I'm not making light of it, because I've had quite a few students over the 13 years I've been professoring who have been sort of self-confirmed recovering perfectionists. I guess that's the way to say it. And so I'm not laughing because they're in agony, and which super laid back people don't always get when they can just, turn in a paper that isn't exactly what they wanted, understanding that they were up late, they had 2 tests in the same day, they did the best they could. There's a certain persona that has a really tough time with that. And I've seen them just beat themselves up. Really good, wonderful students who, they're trying to hand the paper to me and they're like this because it's not exactly as it's meant to be. In fact, this is actually kind of good for this video right now because the camera is at a little bit of a tilt. I tried to fix it once, didn't stay. I could start over, but I'm not going to because it's kind of a good example. It's not perfect. So what? Who cares? Welcome to the human race. That's what we're saying. So the whole recovering perfectionism thing, and like anything else, it takes first of all, awareness. You got to realize that it's not working for you. That it's just not working for you, right? And then there's got to be commitment, and then baby steps. And if you're if you're able to do your best more today than you were yesterday, then give yourself a pat on the back. Because that's what we're looking for. Progress, not perfection. I do believe it's Anne Schaaf who said, perfectionism is self-abuse of the highest order. It's just awful. And I've watched students really, really struggle with it, and it can take over their thinking and everything like that. So setting the bar, do your best, is one you can always reach. That's why this is such a good agreement. Now we're even more tilted. Oh my goodness. Like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And again, we're leaving it because it's not perfect. Nobody is. My goodness, I could not have planned that better, and I swear I didn't. It just kind of droopy. Anyway, okay, so I picture, for me, in my everyday, and I actually say this, you all know my routine by now, right? I wake up, I say thank you out the window, I swing around, all I do is say thank you. I'm thinking stuff, but thank you, swing around, feet hit the ground, and it makes me think of my spine is working, my legs working, my arms working, I do all that stuff. And then the gratitude journal, I go for a walk with little G, most days, really early, and then with the dark thing, we get to make some changes, but most days, unless it's monsooning out there, and I do a thing with an intention, right? And so the always do my best is kind of built in because I intend, the intention changes, but I've got like a foundational one, which is to bring success to everything I do in that day, including conversations, doing the dishes, meeting with students, to whatever, little tiny things, with success. It might be a challenging talk with somebody. Bring as much success to it as I possibly can. And then I say, to the best of my ability. All we can do, and that, like, all we can ask of anyone is to do their best, and all we can do is do our best. So why do we have the bar up here, or in this video like that? Why don't we have the bar like that? I don't know. So if I think of, so I get a visual of, well, actually the party days with the limbo, hello, can you go? And then if you were right there and it was like too much, they could lift it up a little bit, okay? And then you could work like that. Or let's say it's a family one, it's not party headquarters of college, and then you got a little 5-year-old and you can make it, higher so he or she can get under there, right? And so that's it. The whole point of that visual is the adjusting part. Usually it's 2 people holding it in college, but they also have those, you can buy them, where they're you can put them on different levels and hook it on. So yeah, set the bar, do your best, because it's when you can always meet, and taking all things into consideration in our lives. One more thing, I was almost ending and now I'm not. I explain that to students with grades, because sometimes they'll say, I'm really an A student and this happened and that happened. So of course you are. Of course your inner A student is there. I'm not judging you. And when I look at grades, I tell them, when I look at grades come through or whatever like that, a C or none of that to me doesn't, I wouldn't say it means nothing, because of course it means something. Somebody gets an A, they obviously work very hard. They get a B, they work very hard. Here's what it means, that they worked hard, but a D or C does not mean those students necessarily didn't work hard. It could have been that they slacked. It could have been that they're not ready to be there, right? It can also be they had a death in the family. It can also be that they had a series of things, because we are very good about giving flexibility around big crisis situations and whatever. But what if it was a series of things, just mental health issues, or a beloved pet died or something, and then right on top of that there was a breakup. I've had this happen with students for years. And if you had like a series of unfortunate events, one right in a row after the other, does that D or C mean you didn't care or you didn't work hard? No, of course it doesn't. You get an A for doing you get an A. Obviously you can't do that. That's what I'm saying. But I tell them, your inner A student is still in there. Your inner A student, if you were to get an A, like a report card for life, you'd have an A triple plus, because you were able to get a C and earn a C with, your mom in the hospital for a month and your dog died, and then your boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, whatever, broke up, or so really, hopefully all that wouldn't happen at once, but sometimes it does. I can actually remember a student who had 3 big things happen right around things, like huge. A death, and so that was a motorcycle accident where I think a sibling, like a week apart. She no sooner got back to campus, and then another thing happens, like boom, 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 And so the point is, do the best you can, because as long, I guess in my opinion, if you're doing the best you can, which again is a bar you can always reach, you get an A in life, and that's what it's really all about, right? Okay, this is Kimberly Quinn signing off from my daughter's Zen Den in northern Vermont at a bit of an angle. Have a mindful day.